I got to shoot a roll of Elektra 100. I've been checking out Flic Film and the stuff that they make because it's produced here in Alberta, which is awesome, and it's a lot cheaper than a lot of films that are out there. And the nice thing is a lot of the Flic films parallel other films that have already been made, so there's different Kodaks that parallel straight to the Flic films. Rather than just reading kind of a description off a website about what it's supposed to look like, I'll show you what I actually got. I also feel that I like film photography because it's a lot like getting Pokemon cards, and I was so into Pokemon when I was 10, and so it's kind of nice to actually go and pick something up and get something cool to look at. I do like the way this first one turned out. I was going for a lot of the oranges and blues, I think, in this shoot, and there's a lot of that good mixing up where I was at because I shot these in Chinatown. Same with this one, some nice e-scooters with some good red buildings in the background. Composition could be worked on a little bit, and the sky's blown out a little. I think it was pretty smoggy when I was shooting at this location. I like the way it shows the neon signs actually quite a bit. That turned out quite nicely, and I'm looking for some locations to do some portrait photography too with the film, because I think that would be a really interesting way to shoot. And I think this film would be good if you had the right conditions, kind of some nice soft lighting in the morning. I think that would be an ideal time to shoot these. What I'm seeing in a lot of these is that I'm getting some really nice crisp details, and I'm not getting a ton of grain either, especially after on the back of shooting on the Phoenix 200. It's not very punchy, it's not very heavy contrast. But there is definitely kind of a leaning towards, maybe it was just the light I'm shooting at with these, but it seems like there's still a little bit of that sort of faded film, maybe a little on the yellow side, that warmer side of a tone. Of course, I can't shoot downtown in Calgary without getting the Calgary Tower in there as well. And some of these are kind of interesting too. I was trying to shoot into some windows and see if I could get some cool reflection shots. I think this was just a really dirty window with a car going through it. And this was actually one of my favorite shots, I think. I like this one a lot. I like just the neon painters. They kind of pop as subjects. And then of course they're painting a really interesting mural here too. I like those colors a lot. Yeah, I'm digging these colors quite a bit. That soft pale blue works quite well, and kind of continuing on my theme, I think. But yeah, I was just waiting. I waited for this shot for quite a few seconds just to see if I could get somebody framed in the window under the open sign. These ones were in lower light, and I wasn't sure if I was actually going to nail some of these ones or not, because these ones were on the Lionsgate Bridge and it was just close to sunset. So I was setting the camera down. I didn't have a tripod with me, so I figured that doing something like this would be kind of interesting because you could get some silhouette shots. And I lowered the shutter speed and just kind of set it down on the railing, and so I thought they might turn out a little bit more interesting. Now here's something I haven't done with my film camera yet, but was trying out this time as well, was lowering the shutter speed to the point where I could actually blur cars that were passing by as well, and just get a little bit more of that control with the shutter speed, because I think when you're shooting with film, you really want to play with your settings as much as you can. I'm used to playing with my aperture a lot on the digital cameras, and I think that I need to work a little bit with the shutter speed a bit more on the film, because I think you can get some really interesting effects, especially because I really do want to build in that direction of portraits, so I want to be able to control that shutter speed and know what my film is going to look like at the end of it as much as possible, and just play around with that a little bit more. So these ones were kind of interesting to try that out. Yeah, these ones turned out really nice, and I think that I don't want to say I nailed it, because you shouldn't say that as an artist, but I like the way that these ones turned out a lot more than the ones that I took with the Phoenix. Not because the Phoenix film's bad, but because I think I shot it in terrible conditions. And so this one I waited for the conditions to actually be good, so I'm happier with these photos. I really like that tone. It's kind of that mixture of those greens, oranges, blues, and yellows. So if you think about the color wheel, those are kind of a nice opposites. They play well to each other. So just the tones and the colors that you get showing through this, I'm really interested in shooting some more with this. Now here's where I'm going to get a little bit more interesting too. I went and shot at a lake, and again, I'm playing with the shutter speed here a little bit more, but I was more in motion. And so these ones are going to be maybe a little bit out of focus, I think, if you look at them at a granular level. I mean, overall, I'm very happy with how those ones turned out. I really like the colors that kind of come through, and the details as well. I think that I would trust this film a little bit more if I was shooting a project with it, and I think you get some interesting effects. I think there's a couple car shows that I'd like to go and shoot that with, because I think it would really bring out kind of those brighter colors, and while diminishing some of the other ones. So I think what it's really bumping up is kind of that blue, that orange, that green, teal teal kind of color. So it could be really interesting if you got the right subject, because it would really bring that out. Now I would be interested in seeing how it works with portraits, because the one thing I didn't have with it was kind of skin tones and that sort of a thing. So I think that would be really interesting too. And the other thing was I'd like to do some street photography with some neon in it, and it looks like it's capturing that neon light pretty well, and it seems like the color's pretty true for those subjects. So yeah, overall, big win for this. I'm gonna definitely pick up some more of this to shoot some projects with. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the photos, and let me know what you thought of the colors and how it all went, and give me some critique on the composition too if you'd like. So fun to just try some of these different films, and it's nice to find some that are good but not that expensive. And so yeah, by all means, try this one out. This one was this would be a good beginner film to start off with, I think. If you're shooting in the morning, you're shooting in the evening, you got that nice soft lighting, I think this is a perfect one to just jump in with, and inexpensive. So shoot a roll, try it out, and you'll probably be pleasantly surprised as well. I didn't think too much about shooting this roll, but I'm really happy with yeah, the way it turned out, and had a lot of fun going to those different locations too, and doing a bit of biking. So let me know what you thought. I hope the video was kind of fun and interesting to watch, and we'll catch you in the next one.